Hey there guys, Portal Master 9351 here, once again on my dad's iPad. Originally the plan was to get my iPad repaired today, but unfortunately due to Winter Storm Jonas, which will basically drop 2 inches of snow, which is enough to make the southeastern United States cower in fear, we're not going to be able to repair the iPad today, so that will probably happen on Monday, and I'll be able to actually use my iPad again, following week. But for now, I'm back on his iPad, and today I want to talk about the progression of characters in Skylanders. And no, I'm not talking about, oh, I'm going to take my Raptor here, and as I level him up, I'm going to increase his stats. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about seeing a character develop and actually show that their character traits and show just how, progression, essentially. Sort of like in a book, when you start off with a character who may be shallow and, short-sighted, and then by the end, he's, sort of learned his lesson. That's what I want to talk about today. So, first up, I want to talk about Chaos in Superchargers, and you really get to see him shine in Superchargers. And something that was pointed out is that in every game there's something that's been different, that has sort of brought out a different characteristic in Chaos. In Giants, he had the robot. In Swap Force, he had his mother. In Trap Team, he had the Doom Raiders. And then in Superchargers, he had the Darkness. So there was something there for him to play off of every time. And I like that they sort of have been able to compare him to other and show his interactions in order to make him a better character. And so what they've done with Chaos is really cool, and just the way they've sort of brought out the characteristics of him and shown him to be, he's not entirely bad. He does have a conscience, obviously, and he does, you get to see in Superchargers, it's sort of like a I am the best bad guy type of thing. No one can be as good as me, and I must destroy all the other bad guys so I can be the best one. Which is a pretty interesting take, and I'm very interested to see how this works in Skylanders 6 and in the comics, which I've yet to read, about how he plays off with the other Skylanders now that he's in the Academy working with the Skylanders. Now, let's go on to Hugo, one of the other characters that we get to see a lot of progression with, in this game. And so, at the start, he's very timid. He doesn't know what he's doing, and you can see that. And it's because Eon is not there. No one knows where Eon is. He went missing. And you get to see Hugo, sort of be cowardly and afraid, and then you see him sort of get braver as time goes by. He takes over the Skylanders, or the fire element, are stronger in this zone. And he takes over that and some of the other things that Eon would do, and that really did show a lot of progression with Hugo. And Callie was actually a big player in that, and you can see that just in the second or third, I think the third cutscene in the game, when they're looking at Motley Meadows being destroyed and ripped apart, and she comes up there and comforts him. And that shows that she cares for all these other people, and it helps progress her character as well. And, that was actually talked about in an official Skylanders video, and I've been thinking that for a long time, and I've been meaning to make this video for a long time. And, it sort of shows that was the purpose, to make her, seem like a comforting character, and, pretty good, did a pretty good job of that. You can see with Persephone, there's not much character progression, and that's something I want to talk about. There are actually a lot of characters that you see very little progression with, and, Persephone is definitely one of them. 4 out of 5 of the games she's been in, and she's had less character progression than anybody else. And I understand why, but still, I think it would be nice to learn a little bit more about her. It's sort of like with, where does she come from? Who is she? She's just a fairy. Where did she come from? As far as I know, unless it's in the comics, nothing's really ever explained about her. And I think that it's kind of weird that they haven't explored, just sort of her information about her. And I would like to see some of that in the future. Some of the other characters that we haven't really gotten a lot out of is, Flynn. We haven't gotten a lot out of Flynn. And really, it's a similar reason as we haven't gotten a lot of Persephone. And you're thinking, well, Flynn is a main character, Persephone is not. How are they the same? Well, they're sort of in both ways comedic relief. Comedic relief is when you take a serious moment and crack a joke to relieve the audience. Pretty much what you guess the meaning of the word means. So, he's just there to lighten the mood. He's why it's a kid's game, essentially. He's like there to go boom and, you know, sort of turn a depressing situation into a funny one. That is what Flynn is there for. So that you can enjoy a more deep narrative storyline for older people, and then you can have comedic relief in there for ha ha ha, everything's okay, everything is funny. That's what Flynn is there, Flynn is there for. And in some ways, it really works against him as a character. Because right after, spoiler alert, I really hope you've played all the game before you've watched this. But anyways, this is a spoiler alert. When Glumshanks jumps and sacrifices himself, he cracks a joke afterwards. He cracks a joke. It's like, oh, he just sacrificed himself. Ha! Boom! It's like that. It's like, you're a jerk. You're a jerk. Imagine, oh, I go to this guy's funeral, and I'm like, boom! It's not funny. It makes you look like a jerk. Flynn is a jerk. He's not a good character. And I don't like that they made him do that. Because it really took away from the dramaticness of the moment when Glumshanks saves everybody and, you know, sacrifices himself. And then he cracks a joke. And it's like, I understand he's there to, you know, lighten the mood. But really, did that really need to happen? Couldn't we just have one point in the story where it doesn't end well? I understand that it needs to end on a happy note, and I'm fine with that. And I prefer happy endings. But seriously, that was not the ending, and he's okay anyways. So why did we need that joke right there? Because we learn 15 seconds later that Glumshanks, oh, he's okay. He's fine. Let's go get him. So, that's enough for my rant about Flynn. Now I want to talk about two characters that have only been in the last 2 games, but have actually progressed quite well. Mags, and the Secret Ninja Commando Buzz. So, Mags is sort of an interesting character, and, you know, we haven't seen a ton of character progression, but we do know a lot about her, and we know a lot of her information, and we sort of know the character, and that's really what I enjoy about Skylanders, and it's something that I'll talk about in a second. They've done with all the Skylanders. Mags has really shown herself to be a quite charismatic person, and I do enjoy what they've done with the character. And similarly with Buzz, Buzz has also shown himself to be a very charismatic character, and he's a lot like Flynn, but in a different way. He's all obsessed with his Super Ninja Commando stuff, and I really like that it sort of makes him like a coach to the Skylanders. He's sort of, you know, the leader of tactical operations, and I like that they included Buzz, because it just makes it seem like it's a much more organized operation. And I don't know, I just like Buzz. Sorry guys, that was actually completely my fault. I sort of stuttered and I messed up the video. So, jumping back in where we left off. I just like Buzz. And something that I like they did with him is that when you take your Skylander, when I take my Lava Lancer Raptor to him, in the Academy, they talk to each other. He talks to the Skylanders, and not only does that let Buzz, you get to see a little bit more into Buzz, but you get a personality from every Skylander. Spitfire, you know, he's like this really go-to, you know, like really, you know, I can't think of a way to describe it. I'm trying to think of words to describe Spitfire. He's cocky, almost. He's very confident. He knows what he's doing, and he feels as if he knows what he's doing, and he is. And he's confident. And then you get some of the other characters like Dive Bomber, who's just a little bit more, you know, reserved. And you just get all these different personalities from all these different characters that just really let you see into the Skylanders. You know, all you ever really learn about the Skylanders is their backstory. That's all you know. But when you actually get to hear them say things, and you get to hear the tones and the inflections in their voice, you can definitely tell that every single Skylander has their own personality. And that is something they did right in this game by allowing them to talk beyond just their catchphrase and getting to know more than just their backstory. So, you know, there's that. Now, stay tuned, because I have a summary of this video for you people that don't like to watch long videos, and I think you'll enjoy it. So, be right back, guys.
So this will be the TLDW portion of the video, which basically means too long, did not watch. So I'm pretty sure that all my thoughts on the way they did character progression in Superchargers can be summed up by this.